Hello, I'm Mike.
And I'm Mike, and this is Mike and Mike's Movie Tips.
Today we're going to talk about this year's Academy Award winner for Best Picture, The Shape of Water, directed by none other than Guillermo del Toro, starring Sally Hawkins and Octavia Spencer, who play a couple of women working on a cleaning crew at a government facility. They happen to get in a new I don't know, what do they call it? An asset is the way it's referred to, which is a half fish, half man creature. And Michael Shannon is in charge of the security for this. And the cast is also rounded out by Richard Jenkins, who plays the close, roommate / I guess sort of father figure to Sally Hawkins' character. This film, I guess, would be classified as a love story, but it is a very unusual love story because it is a love story between a woman and a half man, half fish creature. And just with that pitch, as Guillermo del Toro mentioned in his acceptance speech, sounds very odd, and he was very appreciative of the studios for taking a chance on such a story and trusting him and his vision. And let me tell you, he pulls it off. Somehow, with that premise, he happens to pull it off. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Like I said, excellent cast. Sally Hawkins is so likable. I always think about her from the movie Happy Go Lucky, where she's just instantly likable. And Doug Jones does a great job with his performance, CGI performance for the.
Actually, I think it was makeup and a costume.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wow. Okay. Well,
I'm not sure, but it might have been.
Well, kudos. Either way. Good job, especially considering, unlike the Planet Ace movies where he's not really getting a lot of facial expressions.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to do to convey to make that connection like he does with Sally Hawkins. But again, great job. I really loved what Richard Jenkins did. Is kind of this lonely man who's trying to make connections out in the world.
Yeah.
And and then has to kind of come to the realization that that really he his Sally Hawkins, what he has, that's his connection, and then that leads into the climax of the film.
Right.
And but I love this movie. I didn't get to see it in theaters, so I was late to coming to see it, and it did. So I knew it was the winner for Best Picture, but it definitely, once I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, that's the Best Picture of the year. I love the movie. It's 4 stars for me.
I liked it too, although not as much as you did. I give it a 3 out of 4. You're right, Sally Hawkins is good. Doug Jones is excellent. He never gets any credit for all the creature and stunt work that he does, and he's so good. He really is. Through just his movements, he's such in control of his body that he can just really create all these emotions through just the use of his body, or even speaking in archaic Spanish like he did in Pan's Labyrinth. So I think he needs to get the credit that he deserves, because he just is one of the unsung heroes of Del Toro's movies. I mean, even in the Hellboy, David Hyde Pierce refused to be credited for providing the voice of Abe Sapien because he felt it was Doug's creation. The one problem I had with this movie is that it gets distracted. Del Toro, he has like basically 6 different main characters, and he spends so much time trying to develop them all. And like, for example, do we as good as Richard Jenkins' scenes are, and he's very good in this movie, do we really need to see his romance with would-be romance with the pie shop guy, or Michael Shannon's home life? I mean, they're supporting characters. They should they're on screen for far too long. And I love Michael Shannon, I love Richard Jenkins, but their characters are just they're not as important as Eliza and the fish man, and I forget what they called him in the movie, but it really takes away from their love story. So we feel it mentally, but not emotionally. This is, in my opinion, it's not like one of the great love stories of all time because of that. it's not like Titanic or Atonement because Atonement is different because I don't know how that movie works, but it does. But Titanic, all the great love stories, they keep the lovers on screen for as much time as possible, and that doesn't happen here. It's diluted because he's following all these other different characters. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. I liked it. I give it 3 out of 4. I just can't rate it any higher.
Okay. I think what you dislike is what I thought is why it works so well, because I really don't think there's only so much they can do.
Right.
Like with a fish man and a woman falling in love, and trust me, they go farther than you think they go.
Yes, they do.
So when they do those scenes, like the bathroom scene with the water, I think there's beautiful scenes that make that stand out.
This is a great looking movie.
So that when they do have those connections, it's there. But I loved how much they focus with those other characters to make them feel so strong. So for instance, you mentioned Richard Jenkins, his romance, right? I feel like, the majority of movies, someone's, if they happen to, be gay,
right,
their sexuality is going to be mentioned in some sort of scene where it's going to be like, I'm a gay man, it's tough for me to be.
Yeah,
something, it's just going to be some sort of, I felt like it was such, like, it
dealt with it in a matter of fact way.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah, because we're coming in, there's no reason for him to tell her.
Right.
About it. It's a matter of fact way, and the way that it did, and like I said, the way it connected also with, with how he's out there, he's looking for something, this connection that he can't find. Right. I thought it was a smart way. I felt like the movie was never, no one was ever just telling me what was happening and
right.
to get it out there, exposition.
Right. What about Michael Shannon's home life? I mean,
okay, so
what does that have to do with the story?
Okay, so I liked, again, he's such a slimy bad person.
Oh yeah,
but he's not. He feels like a person because I felt like they fleshed him out.
Right.
Okay. So like they used part of his home life to show like
right
his attraction to her. Right. Okay.
Right.
Which I felt like is part of what helped blind him. Aside from he probably looked at her as a little woman and she's she's mute and everything. But I felt like his attraction was also helping blind him to who the person possibly was.
Yeah.
For the climax, trying not to give out any spoilers here.
Right.
So I really, when I was watching it, I was thinking like, I did get lost in it at parts, but at parts another kind, I was like, this is so smart the way they're doing it. I really like it.
Yeah.
That it felt more. So I actually liked that they focused so much on the characters. There was no supporting characters that I felt like, they did. It was a waste. Even like Octavia Spencer, they show they're hinting what's going on with her husband, and then they have that scene, that payoff.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah. So instead of having like her, maybe crack under pressure, like you would expect or whatever, it's like the husband with all the stuff that you know about him. It's just like
yeah,
serves that purpose.
So you view it as an ensemble piece, more than a love story, than just a love story.
I really do, and I will agree with you. It's not. I don't put it like an all-time great love story. I feel like they pulled off what I would feel like would be almost impossible.
Right.
Because you think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast.
I believe that they are in love and and the emotions there, but I did feel like. It was also a really, it was intense at parts. I felt like, these things, there was really good humor.
Oh, yeah.
The scene where the guy is talking about, it was a professional crew, I was like laughing out loud. So I felt like it was just successful on so many. That's why my favorite picture of the year, because I felt like he pulled off so many different things. And of course, I wouldn't be upset if Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, it's ambitious. It is ambitious, and he does make a good movie.
So beautifully shot. I mean, that's always the case with him. The lighting, the colors, the attention to detail.
Yeah, and his creature design. It's not one of his. The Fishman isn't one of his best works. But it's really interesting, and I like this movie too. I just want to reiterate that. I do think it's worth seeing. Right, absolutely.
Yeah. I liked it more.
I just didn't like it as much as you did.
Fair point. So, but good movie.
All right.